to the D1 podcast. I'm Ben, and with me I have Nat.
Hello.
And, just for a change of pace, Nat, where are we today?
Oh, maybe I should ask you where we are today.
Yeah, you do that. Ben.
Hey, Ben, where are we today?
Well, today we're at Harry's Bar, as we are every week.
Well,
Harry's on grenfell.com.au. Yeah, well, sorry, that's a lie, actually. We're not here every week. We're here every other week.
Well, we may be here every week recreationally.
Maybe.
Not podcasting.
No, we're recording every other week. So, Harry's Bar, harrysongrenfell.com.au. Yeah, I think you were saying it's steak night, did you say?
Yeah.
Steak
Tuesday
night?
night's a steak night, so
if
come
you,
down, get
wanna
a nice steak.
Come and get some good food and listen into a podcast. Feel free to join us. I'm bad at the dates, so I'm going to get my phone out and just give you all the date of our next recording.
That's a good idea to check that.
Look at that. So the date of our next recording will be the 19th of June. So if you are in Adelaide and would like to come and watch us, we're upstairs. Every other week. How you been?
Yeah, good. Well, I was sick with the plague for like a week over my birthday, and it made me so sad. Sad.
Like, sick with the plague, had to stay at home and play video games?
Well, it worked out kind of well, because my birthday was on the Friday, and I started getting a sore throat, and then I crashed really hard on the Thursday, and the Friday I was like starting to feel like I was maybe human.
Yeah.
So I got to play games on my birthday, so that was good. Yeah.
Do you do the thing that, like I do, where I make sure that I always have a day of leave booked for my birthday, or do you just work through if you'd normally rostered on?
When I was nursing, I'd always request it off, but now I'm doing more office-based stuff. Some people view that as unprofessional, Ben. I have been told.
Really?
Yes, it's unprofessional to roster your birthday off.
Oh, the way I look at it is work can let me take my leave whenever I ask for it.
I mean, it's a little bit harder for me because I'm on a project, so sometimes you
Fair enough.
need to be there when you need to be there. They might have let me take it off, but didn't need to worry about it because I was sick.
Fair enough. Well, my commitment to my work is negligible. Hopefully no one from work is listening to the podcast, and if you are, I am very committed to my job.
Please don't fire Ben.
Please don't fire me. What have you been playing?
So I've been hitting up heaps of Yakuza 6. So
okay,
it's funny because I always come on here and I say how much I hate open world games, but this is an open world game that I can get into.
Okay, so let's assume for a moment there's people out there that have never played a Yakuza game.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right.
Tell me about Yakuza.
This is the first game in the series that I've played, but there's been 7 games, including 6.
So there's been, say, 7 games?
Yeah, because the last game was Yakuza 0.
Okay, yeah.
No, they've jumped on this odd numbering bandwagon everybody seems to be going with.
We might spend some time talking about Fallout 76 later, but sure.
Yes, it goes in the theme. So you play a Yakuza boss dude.
Right.
In this game, he has retired from being an official Yakuza. He actually went away to jail for a while and has come out.
Right.
And he's kind of...
He's completely reformed.
Well, he's looking for a simpler life.
Right.
I don't know the right way to say it, but this younger woman who's kind of like a surrogate daughter to him, like he looks after her, they're quite close friends.
Yeah.
She disappears, and he finds out later that she's been in an accident and she had a baby, and he ends up looking after the baby for part of the game. Anyway, the gameplay style that it is.
Does he go around with his baby following him, referring to it as boy?
No.
No? Okay. Because I feel that's a...
You know this one. No, so the actual main gameplay is that like you're in a really small town in Japan, and like on every street corner there's something, like there is a shop or there is like a food place to eat at. So the experience mechanism in the game is your stomach gets empty when you fight and when you're running around, and so
Right.
you eat food to fill up your stomach again, and your food has properties to help you level up the different things that you want to level up.
Huh.
So it's really, I like it a lot as far as the experience system goes.
So you purchase meals based on the stats you want to.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean,
Like my brain immediately goes to Final Fantasy 15 with
yeah.
when you camp, you pick which stats you want in your meal, and
Yeah, so
Yeah.
very similar. Like I had a
Okay.
similar experience with Monster Hunter recently as
Yep.
well. So you eat and that gives you boosts, but this is a little bit different, built
Cool.
onto your base stats. But yeah, like it's every corner's a mini game as well. Like.
Okay.
It's an R-rated game, so like I went around a corner the other day and there's like a live sex chat. So
Huh.
you're like choosing what prompts you're putting into this live sex
Fair
chat.
enough.
And it costs you like thousands of yen. Or you go spearfishing, so kind of like Pokemon Go, not Pokemon Go, Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Imagine that, underwater,
Spearfishing.
but you're spearfishing.
Right. Again, Final Fantasy 15. Huh, okay, sure.
I
Yeah,
have not
sorry.
played Final Fantasy 15.
There's
Maybe
a
it's not-
fishing minigame in Final Fantasy 15.
Is there
and it's-
karaoke in Final Fantasy 15?
I don't recall it.
Okay.
But look, I'll be honest, the fishing part of FF15 was probably my most enjoyable part
Oh,
of it.
yeah, I love the spearfishing.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the biggest money earning quests in
Yeah.
the game as
Yep.
well. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm back there.
Yep.
I'm getting the shark. Yes.
Also, what other game recently had fishing in it? Far Cry 5 had fishing in it as well.
Yeah.
So
All these
I-
games are pulling in elements.
Fishing. I hate fishing in real life, but I seem to love gaming fishing. So, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So it's been a stack of fun because you think it's going to be this really serious game, and then like there was a seriously mini game where we were running around and the baby was hungry. So
Right.
as you're running through the town, every now and then the baby would be like, "Oh no, I need comforting because I'm upset because I don't have food." So
Right.
you'd have to use the motion controls and buttons to like bump it up and down or swing it, or
Yeah.
so it's just fun. And I think it's
Okay.
the big thing that's missing with open world games for me is that, you know, you look at Horizon, you look at Witcher, you look at Fallout.
Yep.
Everything's so freaking serious.
I can, yeah,
Yeah.
and no.
No?
But yeah, okay.
That's my perspective.
No, fair enough. No, the Fallout franchise I would not have claimed as serious, but yeah, I can see.
Well,
I can
it's
see what you're saying.
quirky, but it's
Yeah.
still serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I haven't played any of the Yakuza games. Maybe I'll have to have a look at this one.
Yeah,
but,
well, you can. I've only got one other person borrowing it, but then you can borrow it.
Sure. I'll add it to the forever increasing pile of games that I will probably get to one
Yeah,
day.
honestly, like you've been talking about God of War, and I'm like, oh yeah, I mean it's good. And then I picked up Yakuza 6, and I'm like, now this is looking like a Game of the Year contender for me, even though it's got subtitles and some of the gameplay is junky. Like it is just fun, and I want to keep going back to play it, and it's
Yeah.
super cool. So
Fair enough. Look, and if a game's not fun, what's the point of playing it? Right?
yeah, and that's the problem with this stuff, is that it's subjective. Because
Yeah.
I know somebody who would like serious stuff would look at this game and just be like, what?
Generally speaking, when I play a game, I'm not looking for massively serious, but at the same time, I do enjoy a well-told story. So you got to have a balance, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
no,
that-
I've been playing through a couple of games, but I guess the one game that I'm playing through and haven't actually completed yet is the Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think I mentioned recently in one of the previous episodes that I was playing through the Tomb Raider games because Rhianna Pratchett has been announced as the Storytime guest speaker for PAX Australia this year. And she was one of the, those of you who don't know, she was one of the writers on the Tomb Raider games. And we have a new installment coming out in September. So, yeah, just really want to get those games done so that I can see the new game in September and then, I guess, listen to her talk about, well, whatever she's talking about, her story time segment when we get to PAX.
So, are you liking it as much as number one, or?
Look, I find it's a very different game. I find the first one I found to be very much, I don't know, Lara did feel very vulnerable's not the right word, but it was always like, shit was happening to her and it was horrible. And, she was so poor Lara.
Yeah, she got beat around.
Yeah, well, that's it. And in Rise of the Tomb Raider, it's more like, geez, I feel sorry for these guys that she's just coming up against because she is just wholesale murdering people.
All the doubt is gone. She's just like...
Yeah, she's hardcore.
Yeah.
I guess I'm about halfway through. I think the percentage marker was at about 40% when I last saved. So, and I know I haven't got all the collectibles. So there's, maybe about halfway through the game storyline, and I'll probably, like I did with the first one, I'll play through. I'll finish the storyline, and then I'll put the game down, and I won't bother going back and doing all the 100%ing because I've got so much else on my plate.
Yeah.
But
I found that I stalled on this game.
Rise,
thank you.
Yep.
A lot more than I did on one. Like one, I just went through, pushed through it, kicked ass the whole way. This one, sure. I felt like, I don't know, I can't even remember why, whether it was like, oh, there's like 60 billion extra caves and things you can discover.
Yeah.
I just felt that pull more in this game, like it was less focused, but maybe I was just less focused.
Did you finish it in the end? Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
I need to
put
finish
aside
it.
many games and never gotten back to them. But
no, I need to finish it because I need to talk to you about it when I'm done.
Good. Do it. Maybe if you get a chance to, we can talk about it at the next recording. I dare say I'll have finished it by then.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping to finish it so that I can get back to the other game that I've been playing. Which is Detroit Become Human. I picked that up on the day of release.
You have to tell everybody the story about you picking up
Okay. So, Detroit Become Human released on a Friday, I believe. And I can't remember who it was, but one of my mates posted something on Facebook saying that, they were really keen and looking forward to this game. And I've been saying for some time that I'm really interested in it, but I'm dubious.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic is probably the way I would have described it. But I was probably going to wait a week or so before I pick the game up. At lunchtime, I went to the local shopping centre and picked the game up.
I thought that was so funny. On the Facebook feed, I saw your comment on our friend's post.
Yep. Yeah,
and then,
I know.
1 second later, you've got the game.
So there was a lot of chatter, and I was really... I didn't want to miss out.
No. And it's hard with a game like that because you do miss out on the water cooler talk, I think, a bit if you leave it a couple of weeks because things move so quickly.
Well, that's it. And my biggest concern was I didn't really want the game spoiled for me, and I do have I do look at a lot of stuff related to games, and I knew that something would probably get spoiled. Now, as it's happened, I haven't seen any spoilers for the game, which is awesome. I'm very happy with that. There have been a few things I've gone out specifically and looked for. So I have finished my first playthrough of the game, and after doing that, I've gone out and had a bit of a look at stuff. But I love it. I very much enjoy the game. For those of you who haven't played it, there are 3 main characters that you can control throughout the game. Connor is a android who is kind of like a police liaison android.
Yep.
The first, he's the android present in the first scene of the game, and he's sent in to do some sort of hostage negotiation. Very cool. Very interesting character. The next character you see is Kara, who is like a housekeeper, basically.
Yeah.
Android housekeeper.
If people played the demo, this is the bit of the demo they would have seen the first part of her story.
Yep. And then the third character that you can play is Marcus, who is a personal carer to a elderly character. Interesting, the elderly character is played by Lance Hendrickson.
Oh, nice.
So it's super cool because it both looks and, well, obviously it sounds like him because it is him.
Yeah.
But it looks like him, and it's really cool seeing.
Oh, so they've styled him after
Yeah,
Lance. Oh, that's
right.
cool.
So, yeah, very cool. In the... Sorry, brain's gone blank.
No, that's okay. I've been having one of those
Connor's
days.
storyline, your partner is styled after and voiced by Clancy Brown, who has been in a bunch of stuff.
Goddamn,
but,
Clancy Brown is amazing.
yeah, and so it's very cool seeing these other characters that are, I guess, quite well-known Hollywood actors in a video game. And actually, they, as I said, having them actually look like it as well. So it's like having an actor in the game.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic.
So for people who aren't familiar, because what's the name of the people that made this game? I can't remember. Quantic Dream.
Yes.
They've obviously made Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. Is it Beyond Two Souls as well?
Yes.
I can't remember, sorry.
I want to say there's another one as well, but my brain is slow today.
No, it's all good.
So
it's like a narrative game with...
It's a very heavily story-driven game. This is actually the first one I've played. I want to say that back when Heavy Rain came out, I reckon Mike purchased it.
Yep.
So Mike's Nat's husband, for those who are unaware. And I reckon I borrowed it off of him.
Oh, there you
go. Because it would have been on PS3, I reckon.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had a horrible standard definition fishbowl TV.
So you couldn't read the text?
I couldn't read any of the text.
Oh, I had the same problem with Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've got this game. I can tell that the game is going to be exactly what I want in a game, a story-driven game where choices actually matter, and I couldn't actually play it. So I gave it back to Mike, and I was very, very unhappy with that.
That sucks.
And, years later, now obviously have a TV that has a HDMI input on it.
So you can read the text.
And I don't have I don't have a copy of it, and obviously being a PS3 game, don't have a way of playing it.
Also, it's PS4 not backwards compatible.
If it is, I don't have any PS3 games to test it on.
Oh, I'll have to borrow it again to see.
Maybe.
If you like Detroit as much as I think you do.
I do very much. But look, it's it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into spoilers, so I'm not going to, I guess, talk about the choices that I made throughout the game. But on my first playthrough, I did have one of the main characters, Kara, die on me about 2/3 of the way through the story.
Well, I think that's exactly what you've been saying. Is like this is a game where choices actually do matter. It's not like a Telltale game where that person's going to die anyway.
Well, and even that. So like in a Telltale game, it's kind of like either A or B are going to die, and then whoever left over is going to take that path through, and the game still goes on.
Yeah.
This is someone dies, and I haven't gotten to that same point in my second playthrough yet to see if that has a flow-on effect, but I expect it does.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. As I said, I'm very keen to see how different it plays on the second and subsequent playthroughs.
Yeah, so I've heard from people that there's opportunities, because you say your choices matter, so you can see the branching pathways and see what choices you made and what other choices were available. Is that right?
So every time you finish a chapter, so the game is broken up into chapters. Each chapter has a decision tree, and they show you that at the end of the chapter.
Oh,
and it shows you your path, and you can actually view the world statistics. So where everyone in the world has chosen the path, and there are some of them where it's like 98% of people did this, and I'm like, yeah, well, that was fairly obvious. There are a couple of the ones where it's like 4% of the world did this, and I'm like, shit, well, that seemed like the obvious thing for me.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm in the minority there.
Well, one thing I've heard about that is like you can miss a bit of information in your environment that would then make a change in what decision you'd pick, and it's you can actually
locks
miss
out
that
sections of the game.
Yeah.
Which is I don't like, but I love at the same time. Like the completionist in me hates the fact that I can miss something and it locks a whole path of the game.
Yeah.
The storyteller, I guess, from a role playing like D&D style storytelling mechanic, if you don't see the clues, you don't pick up on where things are going, and you miss something, that's just what happens.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's is it Game of the Year? I don't think so. And the main reason I would say that I don't think so is because it's not a game that's going to appeal to everyone. And like a playthrough of the game, I reckon is probably 12 to 15 hours.
Oh, okay.
But as I said, you're going to play through multiple times if you really want to see all those different endings for the different characters.
So is it still quite heavily quick time event? Because obviously Mike played through Heavy Rain. I actually watched him play through that, so I got like the pure narrative version of that. But I saw his frustration with some of the quick time events where it wasn't maybe as responsive as he would have liked.
It is quick time event based, and I wouldn't say it's not responsive. It's that I'm not as responsive as I would like.
So you want to be, yeah.
So yes, it is quick time based. For those of you who have played the demo, you said it was Kara's first mission, which I think is like tidying up the house and doing the housework and that sort of stuff, which might seem mundane, but all of the motions and gestures that you do in the housework is the stuff that comes up in the QuickTime events. So you get to a point where you see that icon and you know exactly what you need to do, and I feel that the whole point of those early boring scenes are to get you used to the QuickTime events that are going to come up in the more action scenes. I've got to admit, like, I got into the habit early on, which is, oh, it's a cutscene. I'll just take one hand off the controller and watch.
Oh,
and then I'm like,
rookie
holy
mistake.
shit, like
Rookie
you know,
mistake.
yeah. So yeah, you've got to not do that.
No. Both hands on the controllers at all times during
Yeah,
quick time
'cause
games.
there's no such thing as a cutscene. It is literally a small break in the action before shit happens.
Yeah, because I must admit, I've watched snippets on Twitch and stuff, so I haven't played it myself. And there was a scene where there was a house fire and people dealing with that, and it was just like, oh, quick, do this. Oh, like, do this.
Yep.
Like, it was quite frantic, which I worry about with my mechanical game skill quite a lot.
Yeah. Look, honestly, I think there's, off the top of my head, there's 2 difficulty settings.
Yep.
Challenging and, I guess, more casual gaming.
Yeah.
I played it on the challenging setting because I wanted that for my first playthrough. And I'm playing through the second time on the easy mode. More so that I can, I guess, just get through and really, I guess, more accurately choose the decisions that I actually want.
Yeah, rather than making a mistake and...
Yeah, that's right. I would be very frustrated to find that, you know, I've missed a quick time event and that's locked me out of a story path that I'm specifically trying to achieve.
So if you do miss a quick time event, can you relatively easily go back, or is it like you have to replay the whole chapter and it's a few hours?
I don't know. I have not... with these story-driven games, I start the game.
Yeah.
I progress through the game.
You don't save scum?
I get to the end and then I start the game again. I don't muck around in the middle.
Yeah.
And I guess for me that's mainly because it does change the way the story unfolds. But you know, it makes more sense to me to do that. And I've got plenty of stuff that I really want to I really want to do in each playthrough, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, well, I think when it's different when the game's designed for you to play back through it as well. There's less temptation for me to dig. Yeah, I'm horrible with saves coming. I blame Fire Emblem for getting me into that habit because I played it on the first one I played was on an emulator, so it wasn't like hardcore where your character dies and that's it, they're gone forever. But my way around that was to save every 2 seconds, and it got me in that habit.
I think the first game I really stopped doing that on was XCOM.
Did you play it on the Iron Man mode?
I did,
Yeah.
and by playing it on Iron Man, I found it incredibly challenging, even on the easy levels, on the easy difficulty, sorry. But I just found it was a more rewarding gaming experience. And then ever since that, every time I play through games like Mass Effect games or Witcher 3, when I make a decision in game, I stick with it. I don't reload. And it's sometimes a character will get killed off or not. But yeah, it's interesting. I think it's a...
So Ben recommends Detroit.
Yes. I think that's 20 minutes of me saying Detroit's a good game, you should get it.
Go buy it and play it.
Yeah.
And then you can tell Ben if you don't like it.
Well,
you know where he's going to be in 2 weeks.
Yeah, feel free to come and tell me that I'm wrong to my face.
Oh, it's not going to go well when I play this game.
I guess the only other thing I really wanted to touch on, and I don't have a lot to really talk about here, but E3. E3's coming up.
It is coming up.
Now, as of recording, it'll be this weekend.
Yes.
So, what have you What have you heard that you like, and what have you heard that you're not keen on? What?
I don't know. Like, obviously, Nintendo had all of their Pokemon announcements.
Yeah.
Just this week, so I was super.
Just quickly there.
Yeah.
Eevee or Pikachu?
Eevee.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
You can stay.
Okay. Good. Good. Sorry for everybody out there who's Team Pikachu. Oh, I'll get glared from the audience. I was super excited for Pokemon announcements because I like Pokemon. Like I just, it's a good, cool thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about a new mobile game that was like kind of in the works.
Yeah,
So there's one that they've released called Pokemon Quest, which is currently only on Switch but coming to mobile in about a month.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard anything about Pokemon Quest.
No.
Yeah, so it plays itself and it's a piece of poop and it makes me mad.
Okay.
It makes me very mad.
Cool.
Like it's the worst of mobile gaming brought to your Switch, where all you have to do is tap to engage, and sometimes you only have to do that, and the battles will happen automatically. Like you can tap to use the superpowers, but you don't even need to do that if you don't want to. It can autoplay through, and
Right.
it's a play to wait game.
Play to wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My least favorite mechanics of all games have just been summed up in one
In one,
title.
yeah.
So, I will probably give that a miss.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be. I mean, it's to me, it feels like a game that if they've got any kind of narrative drive to it at any point, you could play it, put it on like next to you while you're watching a show, or
Yep.
even playing something else on a different console, and then just like check in with it. But what's the point?
Yeah, I guess that's my problem with these, like, as you call them, play to wait games.
Yeah.
I've heard multiple people say, "Oh yeah, you do it while you're doing other things." I'm like, well, just focus on the other thing.
Well, it's a fidget spinner kind of concept. Some people need to have their attention on multiple things at once. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the proper Pokemon release games, and they're talking about doing a proper Pokemon game next year as well. So
Yeah,
like,
okay.
proper.
Because this is more like I guess Pokemon Go, but for Switch.
Well,
with
yeah.
a
So
bit more.
that's what the Eevee or Pikachu.
Yeah,
game
Pokemon
is.
Let's Go. That's what it's called, isn't it?
I don't remember.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Pokemon Let's Go.
Oh, yes, it is. Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee or Pikachu. Yeah.
It is, from what I can see, it's Pokemon Go plus
Yeah.
for Switch.
Well, I don't know how it's going to work, because they're saying that it interfaces with your Pokemon Go. So
Yeah.
if you've got all of the Kanto region Pokemon, then you're going to get them in Let's Go. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work, because the whole point of Pokemon is to catch them all. If you've already caught them all, what are you going to be doing?
I don't know.
know.
It'll be interesting to
know.
see what they come up with.
But I need to get a Switch, so I'm
Yeah,
possibly waiting a little bit longer just to see what people say about
Yeah.
Pokemon Let's Go.
Fair enough.
But why I brought that up was because it frees up E3 for Nintendo to talk about Smash.
Smash.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to hearing more about Smash.
Yeah.
I'm like, can't wait for them to announce some like crazy new characters.
Well, so we've heard for some time that there's going to be a new Smash title. Now I do remember hearing a little bit about it being teased and then like nothing else.
Yeah.
So have they come out and categorically said new Smash game and not a port of?
Oh.
Because I know a lot of people were saying that it's potentially the Smash Wii U Smash ported to Switch, like they did with Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it is a new Smash game, because I actually wasn't heaps keen on Smash for Wii U.
I just assumed it was a new game.
Okay. Okay. So
But-
if we haven't heard, then I guess we'll have to wait for this weekend
Yeah.
to find out.
I'm hoping that they're like, hey, now we're in the same, like, got more. I think they've got a bit more leeway with licensing now, so
Yeah,
just be interesting to see who comes out of the works there.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about maybe Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Cool.
What about you? What are you?
Look, it'll come of no surprise that I'm super keen to find out a little bit more about Fallout. Fallout 76, other than a name and a very not information at all teaser, there isn't a lot
No.
that they've told us yet. I'm hearing some things, people saying, it's going to be an online game, other people saying it's going to be open world survival, and my brain can't... how do you do open world survival online with other people and still include VATS? Because, if I go into VATS and it's an online game, everyone else, just pauses, do they? And,
Maybe it's like an instantaneous thing rather than a
I don't know.
wait thing.
I don't know.
Or maybe you do it in like clans. So if you go into a VAT, time still passes and you'd have to put the game down.
I don't know.
But
I guess for me, VATS is a very core component of the Fallout gameplay. And I think it'd be disappointing to see that go just to make it a multiplayer
do you think
game.
it just could be they refer to it when you exit the game, like you're entering VATS, like they cheap out like that, or just...
Well, I hope they don't, but possibly. Anything's possible. I guess we don't know yet. This is all conjecture, and we have no idea. What else are you looking forward to hearing a bit more about?
I tried around this E3 not to get too much into it because I was really disappointed. One thing I said on the chat that we had on the weekend was I'm hoping that Telltale drop a bit more information about the new Wolf Among Us.
Yeah,
because that was obviously being delayed till next year, but we'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
Sure.
I think that'd be very cool.
Likewise, we know the game's coming. I'm really hoping that we get a bit more about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a title I'm very, very keen to see some more of. I absolutely loved the first game back on the original Xbox, and just interested to see what they do with the with the
Okay,
franchise.
how did I forget about that? I'm a bad
don't
person.
know.
I'm a bad person. That's what that comes down to. Yeah, no, that'll be very cool to hear more about that. That'll be really good because they dropped stuff at E3 last year. Is that how long ago it was?
Possibly.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it may have been a year ago. So I really hope there is some more for us. But I don't know, time sort of passes at a ridiculously fast rate, and I lose track of it very quickly.
Yes, it does.
Look, quickly before we close this episode out, was there anything else you wanted to touch on from E3?
Nah. I'm just keen to see what surprises they've got, and we'll be able to talk about it all next time.
Yeah, no, that's it. I think for me, I'm interested to see what they've got for Assassin's Creed. Because this one looks like it's going to be in Rome. Based on some of the stuff that they've spoiled thus far, but again, very little info at this stage. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will.
Anyway, we'll get back to you in a couple of weeks once E3 has come and gone. Hopefully, we will have way more stuff to talk about there. But, we've been D1 DLC. Today we have been at...
Harry's Bar on grenfell.com.au. Thank you
See you
very
later,
much,
guys.
Ben. See you.